It is.
Boom.
Nice.
Wait,
nice.
there's a double
Conspiracy
pint.
theory. I can hear things.
What in the world was going on?
I don't know, but that's like a recording of some kind.
I mean,
was-
the creepy thing was we're in perfect time of that. And it was so awesome. It's still playing professionally done in the studio. What's going on?
Something's gonna happen.
Hey, Max.
I don't know. We're just gonna go with this. All right.
Hey guys.
That works.
We're recording here. We're
Right there.
recording
Here.
here.
We're
Yeah.
streaming here.
We're streaming here.
Happy
I think
Thursday,
that we
everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Do we need to put that that camera down any further, or you like that angle?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
No,
I'm the easiest.
We're good. I don't
Yeah.
think we're. I mean, if you want to talk to people, you just got to look up. Like,
Yeah.
hello,
Hey,
everybody.
Sponzy, how you doing?
Sponzy.
Hey, let's move it down.
Okay, that's fine.
You guys speak amongst yourselves.
So
Amongst ourselves.
every day on a Thursday, we're converting the studio into podcast room,
Yes,
and so things need to change angles. By the way, hats off, Lee.
How's that look?
That's great. Yeah, that's good.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, much better.
Okay.
Put a lot of work into this. I appreciate you prepping every week and getting it to where we can do this.
Oh, no problem.
So
love it.
awesome. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's fun getting to talk and then also engage
There you go.
live.
Perfect.
I know that's a little bit less formal, but it's just kind of cool to see comments and people pop in. So thank you guys for that too.
Yes. Welcome everybody. Jason, Steven,
Jason.
Daniel.
Yeah, I mean,
There.
I think that one of the big things we want to make sure we're trying to do is stay within community, right?
Yeah.
Build this community in which we
No
have.
doubt.
So,
Well, and talk about some major strides. This is my fault, Fred. If you're listening to this, it's my fault for not connecting you. But we want to get Fred Provost on the air because he is really blazing new trails for the FTCA in regards to putting bones on what it looks like to get a flying field, how he did it.
Mhm.
right.
And, these are things that the community are going to be really modeling and that we're just going to showcase and then be able to make repeatable, hopefully. But Fred is just knocking it out of the park.
Fred Provost. Hey,
Yeah.
if you're listening, Fred, hey, call me.
Yeah.
I've got my phone here ready to take your call.
Yeah. We want to hear your story. And if not, we'll get it next week because this is going to be something people can model after it. So hats
Yes.
off, Fred.
Well done, Fredley.
Yeah.
You the man.
What a great week we've had.
Yeah, it's been a good week. It's been fun. It's been interesting. It's been slightly different, I'd say. We can talk about it a little bit, but this man Lee and I were up north with Robert yesterday, so that was a little different. We're working from a different space.
We should call Robert.
Oh, Robert! Hello, Robert.
I really think
He
we should
hates-
call Robert.
He hates.
Don't do that
hates
to him.
it. He hates that. I bet.
Don't do it. Stop
Don't
it.
do
Are you
it, Lee.
behave.
Why?
No.
You know it.
You don't want to call Robert?
Well, no. You give him advance notice for that.
I'll
yeah,
text him.
Plus,
I'll text him
do
first.
not do that.
I'm going to text him.
I think your boss vetoed it. Just
Am I not allowed texting him?
He's
This guy.
instigator.
Tell Josh I hit the like button and it didn't hurt.
He says
Props
that every
off.
word. It's hilarious. Well done, props off. It's phenomenal.
I love it.
But yeah, we got the opportunity to go up there and do some stuff up there with Robert, and you guys were crushing it down here with some other fun stuff, with some tenant stuff and all that
It
good
was
jazz.
an incredibly productive week
Mm.
with content and everything. And I'm really excited. Robert, we talk about Robert a lot. Robert is kind of like the behind the scenes guy that's also Swiss Army knife, but he's been with Flight Test actually longer than I have.
Oh, yeah.
And he's also going to be really instrumental into FTCA with the solutions he's going to be building for the community.
Oh, for sure.
The app, I'm thinking,
Right.
Yeah.
the app's going to be world class.
That's right.
Yeah, and I know we've talked about the app, a few times, and it's been talked about for
Yeah.
a long time, even before I came back on. Actually, you know what? I think that the first time around we had an idea about having some type of
Yeah.
app that connects people and everything. So
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a way that there can be, you can find your community, you can find resources like articles, you can connect with the forums, and then you can also locate other people and then, find events, places to fly.
All in a central location.
Yeah, that's a pretty tall order.
Oh, yeah, for
but
sure.
If there's anyone that can do it, it's Robert.
Robert,
Roberto.
the man,
So,
and he's been working on that for a long time.
Yeah.
So he's got it all in his mind and is
Mhm.
just crushing it every single time, which is cool.
And speaking about crushing it, what have there been? I wasn't here on Tuesday to see the flights. Were there any
my
crushing
goodness.
moments?
no crushing, but there was a lot of memories. we have another video coming out with the Meglacy, and this time we took 2 Flurkins and we mounted them under each wing of the Meglacy with a killer release mechanism that Dave Jester designed. And I cannot wait for that episode to come out. The Flurkins, and forgive me, friends, I know a lot of feedback about, with talking about the show and the week and everything. This is kind of the vision of the podcast. Yes, we talk FTCA, but we also get behind the scenes and stories and content.
Why was there somebody that was complaining about the show?
I think there was a misunderstanding with this, since it's on the live through the FTCA, that it's only going to be about policy and stuff. And no, FTCA is much more. It's lifestyle.
Sorry
it's
to disappoint you. Like,
yeah. Well, no, but honestly, I think clarity is deserved. Too.
No,
I didn't say that defensively.
No. I'm thinking about the guy that is out there like, all I want to talk about is FAA policy.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. Wrong place.
Good way to want to jump off a bridge.
Right. We'll talk about things that it comes up. But yeah.
But no, this is a great opportunity to share so much more of what goes on in a week. But the Meglacy is such a cool play.
Oh yeah,
and the Flurkins, they came out. And by the way, the Flurkins and the Tudors, I think, are the 2 fastest moving
designs
almost in the history of flight test.
Yeah.
The Arrow and the Tiny Trainer are I think the current leads. But the amount of people now sharing their stories and their builds and stuff, I'm so excited. But Stefan, this is the most special part about it. I got to fly with you.
Yeah, it's been a minute, and it was awesome. Like there's not many words I can say about it, because it's like you have to think of like the best tippy top words to say. It was an unbelievable experience. It was the first time in a very long time that I've flown a powered airplane, first and foremost, with FPV. And it was, I was shaking the knees at first, but after I got kind of through the midst of it, it was just like super fun and like enjoyable. And we were following the airplane. It was awesome.
Well, and just the way it looked, putting 2 Flurkins, we have the 2 main motor pods of the Flurkins, and that's where the release mechanisms are.
Mm-hmm.
Really simple, real elegant, but it mounts them like 2 Mavic missiles.
Yes,
underneath it.
Yes, they look like crazy torpedo missiles. It's crazy.
And wow. Taking those things, fastening them on, first of all, taking them up. And Stefan, you flew the beta version of the Flurkin before we brought it in design. That was kind of one of the testing things. What did you think? And you just knocked it out of the park with that. And seeing it climb up, and then both of those things launch off like cruise missiles. And then you actually got better FPV footage than David did, because you had a different tactic.
Yeah. So I actually, it's unfortunate for David, because he was in front of me, and he kind of took one for the team, I would say, because I learned from his scenario. He came in like right on par, just a little lower, and all I see is his wing going choo 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 choo, because he's getting smashed with prop wash.
Yeah,
because we're swinging what, like 30-inch props or something.
Did we put 32s on?
Yeah, that's a lot of airflow coming out of those things. So anyways, I watched that, and so I decided to take the high route and go just above the wing. And it just happened to work out that it was super clean air.
Yeah.
So he was able to kind of chill there, just sit above the wing and kind of follow Josh. Now, I will say this as well. It's not overly hard to follow a 16-foot wingspan airplane, because it is so big, and he can slow that nice down, et cetera, et cetera. So it was kind of like the perfect storm of awesomeness, which is cool.
I loved it, and I love getting to fly with you. And we're not letting you off. You're going to be flying a lot more with us, because the footage, and also with the Flurkins, I never dreamed it'd be such a good FPV platform. Seeing the footage, I had to ask Noah, is that quad or is that the Flurkins?
Right.
And we have the Insta360 Go.
Go 2, the Go 2.
The Go 2. Thank you. And they've even printed a 3D mount, but where it sits horizontally inside the nose, it is butter smooth.
Yeah.
Like no wiggle woggles, no. Typically with wings, you kind of, when you change your throttle and you kind of get hit by wind, it wiggles.
Yep.
This thing was locked in, and we had wind. It wasn't like we were flying in the dead of calm. We had a little bit of wind, but holy cow, man!
Yeah.
Like the footage is magical.
Now, okay, so those are the oblong ones,
little Go 2s.
Yeah, little tiny white peanuts.
All right, so the little tiny white peanuts, they were turned sideways, so they fit like they nestled in there really nice. Now, can you change like the picture of it, so it's not. It's kind of like when you're holding your phone,
Mhm.
it does it automatically.
It automatically does that.
Oh,
Yep.
all right,
And
cool.
Which is cool.
and it's gyro stabilized too. So
Right. Yeah. So it has it, and they have their own like proprietary stabilization software, which is
Yeah.
really cool. And it's phenomenal. Let's just put it that way. And yeah, you put that thing in there, you put it in pro video mode, and you're just locked on. It takes everything out, and but at the same time though, the plane itself,
Yeah.
because of that like polyhedral in there, like that. I mean, I wasn't
it's still unreal.
doing this even through my DJI feed. I felt really smooth, and there was some wind up there and all that kind of stuff. So the platform itself is just super stable. And like you said, you don't always get that with like a race wing or whatever, just because of that. But I think those stabilizers in the back, the polyhedral, just like the forward swept wing. I mean,
it's truly not a. We call it a wing, but it's not a wing. It's
No.
a plane because
Yeah, for
a,
sure.
a true wing I don't think is even considered when you have fins. I think it has to be finless.
Right,
you
right,
know?
right,
I
yeah.
think they call it what's finless plane or something like that.
Yeah, something like that,
It
yeah.
was some. I'm drawing a blank. But
It's a something or other.
yeah, but it's a wing.
Yeah,
it
correct.
to us it feels like a wing.
Yeah.
Props off just asked, what's your next event at Edgewater that includes FPV quadcopters? Brother, we have racing through the year. We don't have any scheduled yet. But
There's no specific event.
Yeah, everything's. I mean, you can come out anytime.
You can come out and fly quads, and
Yeah.
The area that's air park is completely open for you to fly FPV anytime you come down. If there's a lot of people flying, just communicate with them. And then when we have really big events, if we shut down the golf course, 120 acres to frolic.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm trying to think. So April we've got our open house is
Open
going to
house,
be
yeah.
kind of open flying and everything. But then May we have the Wings Over Edgewater.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that would be the first outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, April open house will be a great opportunity to fly.
Yeah,
please
for
come
sure.
down. We'd love to meet you.
Indeed.
Right.
But yeah, I'm excited, and then just seeing what the Flurkins can do. And you're right, Stefan. Line of sight, the little Insta360 Go 2 is really, really stable. It gives you all stabilization, so the quality of the footage is amazing.
And it in a way is
But-
like less than an ounce.
Yeah,
Which is
Yeah.
another big thing for all aviation style stuff, whether it's a quad or an airplane or wing, whatever. It's not going to cause your CG to get drastically changed.
Well, did you see what David was printing for us?
Yeah, that white, yeah, that thing's
so,
awesome.
So there's a custom mount that David designed for us that holds the Insta360 Go with like a little O-ring, and then it also will then bolt right into the battery tray of the Flurkin. And
Nice.
you just cut out the upper part of the Flurkin, the cover, and it just sits perfectly.
It looks beautiful.
That to me, I think will be the camera choice.
Yeah, no, it's great. And on top of that, actually, Insta360 partnered with our good friends over at Cadex, actually, and we have got some cool stuff coming down the pipe with them as well. That they made a Peanut. It's called the Peanut, which is hilarious. You guys talking about it. It essentially is the same camera, but you can record for a little bit longer. It's got an extra external battery that you can plug in
nice.
and that kind of stuff. Same camera, same resolution, all that kind of stuff. You can just fly for a bit longer, and a couple other small minor things that really work for aviation based stuff.
We should get our hands on that and even consider bringing it in the store, because that is the one thing, like with the Flurkin, we can fly well longer. We could put a 3300 in there and just sip the milliamps and cruise for a long time.
Yeah, and I think it's now at like 20 to 30 minute record time. So
nice.
Instead of currently the Go 2 in pro video mode with that great stabilization is about 10 minutes. So this ups the ante to I think 20, which is like perfect time frame for that, because that's about a battery worth almost on the Flurkin, a little bit less or whatever.
Perfect. Hey, Cold Dash, is it cold or gold? I can't see.
Cold Dash.
Cold Dash saved my bacon. Thank you, man. I'm having a brain freeze today.
Tailless
plane, not finless plane.
Yeah, got it.
Those, yeah, man, I'm not much good for anything today. Yeah, thank you for that tailless plane. So, that's it. With the Flurkins, and it's kind of been it's been consuming us a little bit. There's going to be some really cool variants we're going to be exploring in January to come out with. So we quickly realized that format's awesome, but taking inspiration from a lot of FPV platforms, we can modify that. I'm going to be working on, I want to do an ATV Flurkin that takes off the ground. And so I think that's going to be my next variant that I'm going to work on, that can go off of snow, water, or grass, of course. I got a picture in my head, and I just
I
got to
like
make
that.
a reality. So if I fail you, I'm sorry, but that's going to be January's project.
The ATF, the all-terrain flirkin.
Yeah,
Mm.
he just got it.
Boom.
All terrain flirkin. Dude, did you just
Love
come up with that?
That just
now?
popped into my brain.
When you said ATF, that's not the ATF that I was thinking
That's
about.
no, I don't like that ATF.
No.
No.
So, yes.
Hey Jackson, thanks. Yeah, 2 million subscribers, guys. The family has grown.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
a
yeah.
humbling thing.
Yeah. So
he's
look,
like someone. He's like, congrats on 2 million. Didn't someone say something about a B-17 at 2
B-17?
million? Asking for a friend.
Yeah, let's unpack that.
Go ahead.
Do you want to go through some comments here?
well, yeah, I wanted to
Yeah,
just
let's
touch
do
on
that.
a couple as we come in. So Dan Sponholz, because you're talking about Fred and the FTCA FRIA. Dan says he's planning on to making one of his own
Awesome.
non-AMA field FTA FRIA, which is awesome. That's up in, is it North Dakota?
Wisconsin. Yeah.
Wisconsin.
Perfect.
Sorry, Dan. Which are you back? Oh, I was wondering, you're still in Florida, aren't you? You should be.
I'm so happy. You got a well-deserved vacation.
Oh man, that dude is awesome.
You know what's really cool is we have a huge community, but do you find how we obviously don't know all 2 million personally, but there are so many people that we know their families, we know their kids, we know their stories, we know what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
Thank you guys. I mean, that's what we want. We want a relationship with you.
Oh, yeah.
What an amazing thing to be able to talk to different community members and the fact that they share that much, but also that we get an opportunity to be about that much of their life. So,
Yeah, and
I
one of
love
the
it.
things that some of our friends have noticed that there's a perception that Josh Bixler and the team here is like these cool guys that everybody wants to hang out with until you actually hang out with us.
Yeah, we're not those
we fix
guys.
that perception like in 5
Right.
seconds.
Well, and they realize that, hey, let's do something, and we have the best motivation. I'm thinking of Justin and Rebecca right now. I mean, because they're right down the road, and we were supposed to hook up with them to go to that the lights in the zoo thing,
Mhm.
and it's just like the schedules wouldn't
Yeah.
line up, and
We love it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite memories, Adam and his family, they're down in Dayton.
Mhm.
We met up with them and walked through Dayton Air Museum together with them.
Adam-
Oh,
Adam
that'd
Drain?
be awesome.
Adam Drain, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to visit their B-17 project. It was really, really cool. Dan brought up a good point, and this is really good. This is circling back to FRIA as an FTCA,
Oh, yeah.
and also a little bit on the vision level, what we're trying to establish is there's a lot of places that, yes, they do require insurance. But our goal with FTCA and our move forward is to help people establish FRIAs, whether it's their backyard, whether it's a church backyard, a school backyard.
Mhm.
Not every location requires insurance, and that is not a requirement as of yet, and Lord willing, it won't be
Mhm.
from the government.
Hmm.
It shouldn't be. Frankly, it shouldn't be.
Right.
What we do here at Edgewater is incredibly useful and powerful, and it's a great example. When people come, they sign a waiver. That waiver lasts for the whole entire year. We just make sure they have that. We have that information, and then they're free to fly. That is a model that we can use at FRIAs.
Mhm.
We don't need to make people have to spend money to belong to a club and then buy the insurance and go
Right.
through all those flaming hoops. We can simplify it all the way down to finding people in our community that say, hey, I got some acreage, or I have access to this land, just like what Fred did.
Right.
And we can use a waiver system. And that's the one thing we really want to bring into reality is some alternate solutions, because let's just be frank, the insurance is garbage. It's last
Right.
coverage.
Right.
It may be millions of dollars, but it's after everything else is expended.
Right.
And when you get to that point, God bless them, that's a good thing. But that's not something that's needed for everybody.
Mhm.
And I think, I know I'm sounding kind of provocative about this, but I don't think that needs to be a hurdle in this hobby to get people, because we're talking about government overreach. This is a hurdle too. It's a financial hurdle. It's a hurdle
Right.
that you have to pay for, even though the odds of you ever using it are very, very slim to none.
Mhm.
So establishing FRIAs and establishing locations for people to fly at and meet up, do quad races and things, and then also saying, here's our waiver solutions, here's what we're doing, here's what these people are doing. We'll be able to get a network of solutions where, someone like Fred, this is how I worked with the township and this is how I did it. We can document that, we can capture that, we can put that pin in there. So when someone has a similar solution, we can connect them. Here's how this person did it.
Right.
It's not like everyone has to do it this way and in this mold. And I think that's going to be incredibly powerful in the near future, to not require people to spend a lot of money on insurance.
Indeed.
Indeed. All right. So another one was somebody asked about what do you think about an EPP legacy? Well, How about an EPS Meglacy?
Yes. So
Yeah.
we're just now playing with EPP, and we actually cut our first parts out of EPP yesterday, and it's incredibly promising. I don't think we want the cut time on the Legacy to make it out of EPP would be cost
Be a
prohibitive.
lot.
It would be a lot of cut time,
Right.
and it would be counterproductive because then you, by that size, you'd have to get external bracing like carbon fiber. There's a sweet spot with EPP. I love flat outs for EPP. I love the thicker, more blocky planes because they're just naturally strong.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you get to more formed or longer wingspan, you do have to have some kind of spar. And that's when I kind of say, okay, foam board's my bag.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do with different materials is saying, what is the sweet spot for that material? And let's go ahead and design around it, celebrate it, bring those resources to people, and go from there. So, yeah.
We're
good
having trouble here.
What's wrong?
With the old chat.
Yeah, it says that a chat disconnected. Please wait while we try to reconnect. Unable to connect. I don't
Let's
know.
Try again later.
Oh, man.
I don't know
I
what
love
to
chat.
do.
Can you hit that button?
Which button?
The top chat.
This one here?
What's it say? What if you click that?
Live chat.
All messages are visible.
Well, hopefully it'll turn back on.
Sad day.
We're not ignoring you guys. The
No.
chat just went down.
Yeah.
Chat
We
unable
love you
to.
all.
So
It's such a sad day.
where was I rabbit trailing to?
You were talking about EPP, EPS,
EPP,
that kind of
EPS,
stuff,
all that good stuff,
about
yeah.
the legacy, and then you moved into want to provide materials.
Oh, yeah,
Obviously, and you
yeah.
like different.
Yeah,
types
use
of
that
designs.
transition of the EPS and provide materials to talk about the B-17.
Okay, yeah, the B-17.
Bum, bum,
There we go.
bum.
Can we talk about kind of what we're going to be trying in the next 3 months? You guys down with that?
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah, you can do whatever you want because at
That-
the end of the day,
So dangerous.
he's the boss.
So dangerous.
I know.
This is okay. This is the
And
boat
we
these
can
poor
all-
folks have to live in.
And we can edit.
Okay, no, not on live.
Not on live. Well, I don't know how many people are on live because it's something's going on here.
Okay. Well,
It keeps trying to connect. So
We-
we'll
okay.
see if it comes back.
first of all, thank you from the bottom of our heart for getting us over 2 million.
Yes.
Whether it's 200 or 200 or 2 million or 200 million, we love you just the same, and we are blessed to have a relationship with you.
For sure.
This project's going to be special. The B-17 was amazing. It flies amazing. We're going to be building that 20-foot B-17. We're starting tomorrow on it. And the format we're going to try
Tomorrow?
here. Well, okay. We're designing tomorrow.
Oh.
Don't worry. I'll get the other stuff done.
Well, no, I don't. I don't. I'm just. You caught me off guard
Yeah.
there because I was thinking that we were gonna breathe for a minute.
No.
And
No breathing.
So
Lee, you better hold your breath for the next 3 months.
we've got
well-
some other things to do.
So
Okay.
yeah, well, no, David, we got the files coming in, and we're going to get the cut files going because Monday and Tuesday and then Wednesday is all we have next week, and we have to have all that. Done.
You're gonna cut it all out next week.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought
Not just a fuselage.
I thought you were doing that for in January, starting
Well,
January.
That is January's episode.
Oh, it's January. Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
oh.
Bum, bum,
Yeah.
bum.
See, I missed one day, and it just all goes.
That's what
crazy.
happens. By the way, that's because we have good coffee, and thank you, Spiral Horn, for the free gift of amazing coffee.
Yeah, look
We-
at this.
we-
He even sent us a nice.
Yeah, dude.
Handwritten letter.
What I loved about it is he wanted having a cup of coffee is something really special to me.
Yeah.
That is what you and I connect over.
Yes.
It is something I call my coffee friends, and the fact that he wanted to do that and amazing coffee in that booklet about how not to have bitter coffee was awesome. So
Yes, indeed.
Josh has coffee friends. I have gun friends. Send me guns.
and I don't have any friends. That's great.
you got brothers.
That's
So,
right. Yeah, we're good.
So here's what we're going to be trying. We're going to be doing something a little bit different, and we're looking forward to your feedback. And I'm happy, frankly, we can talk about this on a podcast because it's going to probably be a little jarring. This B-17 is going to be the biggest project we've ever done. Long story short, at the end of this journey, we want a B-17 that we can pull out and fly. We can travel with it. We want laser tag systems in it where people can come up and then we can recreate what it's like to shoot down a B-17 and what it's like to get shot by a B-17 through laser tag. We got some really awesome new laser tag systems from Mateo
Mateo.
that we're going to be testing out.
Mateo.
And what we'll be doing is in each gunner site, there'll be an emitting shooting. And then when people from the new releases coming up next year that are going to be, I think it's the BF-109 big one.
Mhm.
We have a couple that
Couple
John's
different ones,
designing. Yeah. Those will then have the ones that can be shot and shoot. So the B-17 will be just spraying out constantly, and then the targets on the motors and the wings and the areas that will take it down will be in the direct line of fire of obviously the gun turrets.
Right.
And then we'll be able to reconfigure these gun turrets to give people either an FPV experience or to have it just be a shooting thing. There's a lot of functionality we're going to design. We want to take people through the whole entire journey.
Okay.
Oftentimes when we have content, we have to brush over so much, or we'll have a 3-hour episode.
Right.
You know, that's pretty true. That's Noah's main
That's a fair
frustration is like,
point.
what do you cut out?
Yeah.
So we're going to actually take a couple steps back into our past, and we're going to have more of a vlog style lifestyle episode for the next 3 months. And we're going to try this out where
Duck Dynasty style.
Duck Dynasty style.
Yeah.
And this is frankly to fix a couple perception issues. A lot of people think that we only do content. That is 100% not the case.
No, that's kind of like this much.
Yeah, and this is where I owe you all an apology. Is we got the most amazing team here, not only here at this location, but also manufacturing. You guys should be able to see that too. We want to kind of take a step back, pull that curtain back that I've wrongly put up a little bit to show what's going on. So we're going to January. We're going to be focusing on the fuselage. February is going to be the wings. March is going to be January, February, March. January, February, March. March is going to be the assembly, and then April will be when it gets nuts. That means we can live in the techniques. We can have more education. We can have more how we did it. We can have more advanced stuff put into this, more functionality, retracts, things like that. Along with that, though, we'll be able to also show what's going on inside this crazy building, both in manufacturing and here. Designing the products, working on STEM, advocating for the hobby. We can pull all that back. I want you guys to see the amazing things that Stefan does on a daily time. Daily basis. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, I am really out of my words today. I want you guys to be able to see that, and I think that'll be a really cool way to pull that veil back.
No, for sure.
So you're going to get a little bit of a big project. You're going to get a picture on how we design product. You're going to get a picture of how we advocate for the hobby, and Lord willing, when it starts getting warmer, how we flying with people, and just a picture of the life and flight test. So it'll be like a vlog smashed up with our main channel.
Yep,
it'll be hybrid.
Yeah, it'd be hybrid. It'd be kind of like, you got your A story, B story, C stories, and along with those storylines, you've got all the members of the team kind of interweaved throughout that, which is. What we're trying to accomplish is to showcase the family aspect, the community aspect, and also at the end of the day, just how it works in our business specifically is nothing gets done here or even at manufacturing without everybody's involvement on the daily basis. So that's what we want to show you and give you a little bit of insight on what goes on in this crazy environment that we call flight test.
You may see us once in a while, a little stressed, a little tired, but we really want to show you that. Because I think, to me, that is the thing that really inspires me the most, is just how this team every week wakes up and says, what's our new challenge? How are we going to get accomplished, and how we get over the finish line? I don't want this content to be the Bixler show. I don't want it to be even just a couple of us. I want people to see what an amazing team we've been blessed with. And frankly, manufacturing too. That is a whole animal there that is just so incredible.
For sure.
And that's one big reason why we did the live stream on what was that, Monday?
Yeah.
Tuesday? Monday? Yeah, Monday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Monday.
For the 2 million?
Yeah, for the 2 million. That's one reason we did it at manufacturing. Was to showcase that this whole team coming together and doing other random things throughout that day, and showcasing what goes on behind the scenes when you guys are just watching a video. We're over there, or behind the scenes doing this or that or whatever. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it not only performs, obviously, but also just how we all interact together in one kind of shape and form. So,
and you'll see really quickly, it's much more than just flight here at Flight Test. It's really there is a bigger vision we're serving, and everyone is filling that in its own way.
Right.
And I'm excited. I hope you guys like it. Give us a little bit of grace to begin, because we're going to kind of be filling this out. And, we've always been kind of experimenting with different formats. It changes over the years. There's not been even a full year where we haven't switched things up a little bit. And I'm excited about this going into a new year, hitting that mark of 2 million, but then also getting to finally have the resources to really go big, but then stay approachable, and at the same time show the heart of why we do what we do.
Yeah, and I personally am excited about it, but I think and call me out if I'm going to be wrong on this. You can, in a couple months, you all can yell at me. But I personally think that this is going to be the best content that we have ever put out, in my opinion. So
100% agree, man.
that's where I'm at.
And that's what we're going to work towards.
Except for the guy who only wants to hear FAA policy.
Yes.
He's going to hate it.
Now, I feel so bad I said it that way.
Dude, Lee's up in arms about it. But
Yeah.
you see it on his face.
Oh,
This
well,
is my face. This is how my face always looks.
yeah.
That's fair.
Hey, I got an idea. We could probably just tap into the live through our phone.
Well, I looked. I looked at.
Is it not working on our phone
No,
yet?
it's coming. Well, I didn't look at the.
Just tap into the live broadcast. And maybe we can answer through there.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I don't know what's up here. It's still there.
Is it still there? Well, we can just answer
Okay.
through there.
I was previously told that we needed AMA assurance at Flight Fest. Is that different, or do you use a waiver there as well? You were told wrong.
Yeah. Well, previous years, previous to last year, that was the case.
Yeah, but not this year.
Yeah,
Well,
this
this year was different. Then
Yeah.
next year will be the same.
Chat's working.
Chat's working.
Yeah, I'm on the chat
There
too.
we go.
Yeah.
So
Baloo's there.
hi, Baloo.
Baloo,
Baloo,
what's
Baloo.
up?
Yeah, and that was a that took a lot of work on the back end and a lot of extra cost, but 100,000% worth it. The amount of new pilots last year that were able to come, because this is how it typically worked in previous years, is people would have to spend money to come out here, and a lot of them, our community predominantly flies in back fields and they fly in backyards. The majority of them do not belong to club members.
Right.
Or are not club members of different locations. So they would have to buy coverage for flying just for
Yes.
that one event.
Yeah.
That's expensive. And this year, since we did the waiver system, by the way, no injuries, no issues, everything went smooth as silk.
Yep.
We almost burned a rental golf cart though to the ground.
with my airplane.
Yeah. It was all your
That's
fault.
a fair
Hey, but
point.
no people were harmed.
No. Or baby kittens.
Or baby kittens. That it went wonderfully. Next year we're going to stay with that too. You do not need to have it now. If you have AMA insurance, absolutely still come. But you don't need to worry about that. Sign
Now-
the waiver, have the insurance. You're going to sign the waiver no matter what.
Right. Then
Right.
that was my question. Even if you have insurance, it won't matter. You still have to sign the waiver when you're at
Mhm.
that specific event. So
And
Right.
you'll even find, like, when I go to indoor events, I sign a waiver and then I write down my AMA insurance number. So you're still
There you go.
doubling up. We're just peeling that one level of cost back,
Mhm.
and it was incredibly successful. And next year will be the same. The amount of
Worked
new
out.
pilots, though, that's
Oh,
that
man.
rabbit trailed.
Yeah.
That was incredible. The STEM tent people building their first airplane. I saw people go from the Easy Pack planes to flying their first planes, full blown, servos, everything
Mhm.
Yeah.
in the weekend.
yeah, it
It's
was
awesome.
It was fantastic.
Absolutely awesome.
And I'll be honest with you, those easy planes,
They're so much fun.
like just all the above of the easy line. Let's put it that way.
Mm.
It's an unbelievable platform to teach, educate, learn. But like you mentioned, the quickness from when you start to when you feel
Yeah.
even just comfortable to start flying other things or whatever is pretty amazing. Because like my son's like 5 now, he just turned 5, and I mean he loves those things.
Flies like a boss.
And he's great. He can land on a runway, all that kind of stuff.
And he's still flying the original one, isn't he?
yeah, he's flying the good
It's-
old airliner freighter, whatever it is.
Now
so.
you've climbed a tree or two.
It's the airliner. I seen it up.
Yeah, the
close,
airliner.
close
Yes,
and personal.
the airliner is what he currently flies.
Right
And the
into my
reason we
face.
used to do the freighter, the reason we do the airliner now is because it has the
Elevator.
elevator for wind. Because we don't, just when they're here, they're kind of here at random times. So like we want to fly, so we have to have that
Yeah.
ability to cut through the wind a little bit quicker, if you want to call it that, so it doesn't go flying away.
Well, and don't think because you have a simpler form of RC flight that you're not prepping or preparing or teaching properly
Right.
to get the kids into the full 4-channel, full-blown RC flight.
Right.
This is what their brains need to teach them muscle memory, how to use throttle, how to control the plane going towards you, away from you,
Yep.
across from you. That is the first foundational element. Don't worry about giving them all the complicated stuff or going into
Mhm.
the science. Teach them up, down, left, right, and how to use that when let their brain do the programming.
It's legitimate. If I were to put it in one like package, it's a simulator in real life.
That's a good way to say
That's
it.
what it is. Like simulator, you can go and crash and do other things, and you don't really. There's no issues. Obviously, with a plane, you do have that next level, but
Yeah.
it's literally like flying a simulator because it's so easy. Easy line. because it's so easy and it's so docile and it's so intuitive.
But it
it's almost
doesn't
like
have a
you're flying.
reset button though.
But it kind of does, because if you crash that thing, there's no problems because it's so light and spongy. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, you just walk out and get
I mean,
it or climb.
I
a
would
tree.
know because my son does it all the time.
So here at Edgewater,
I get it.
the golfers buy those airliners and freighters.
Yeah.
And you'll see them driving around, and it's funny because the golfers are the ones that put them in the top of the trees.
Oh, that's
I love
awesome.
it. I love it. They're just the greatest.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, if you guys being around Christmas time, don't think that you have to spend $300-$400 in making this experience. You can start even an adult off with these simple guys, and it's fun. It's relaxing. You
I
get
love it.
immediate success.
I steal the transmitter from my son.
He's a mean guy.
I'm
Mhm.
sorry. I'm sorry, Grayson.
Yeah.
I said it out loud.
Everybody already knew it though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Any more comments?
No, not
We're
yet.
good? Okay.
So I got a question though. This is maybe a bad question.
You're
talking, yeah. It depends who's listening. So when you're talking about signing your name and then putting your AMA number,
Mhm.
what's the deal with when people do that? I mean, like they always want to say I'm an AMA member, and they throw out their number. And is there something behind all of that?
Yeah. So basically, as you get more and more members, obviously the number gets higher and higher. So the lower
Okay.
the number is kind of like early adopters. No
Oh.
different than with FTCA.
Yeah,
You remember
okay.
when we opened
Mhm,
up? Hey, I mean, I think Sponholes is 007.
No, his son.
His son,
Ah, yes.
007.
Yeah, I think Keegan is.
Yeah. So it just
007.
shows that you're an early adopter, and it's just their form of identity. And,
Is it
and-
just kind of like
Yeah.
puffing out their
yeah,
chest
just
a little bit?
puffing and stuff. By the
Okay.
way, yeah, and boy, I don't want to be throwing any rocks. But here's the thing: is how do I say this without sounding provocative? Our identity is not in the toy planes that we fly. Our identity is how we serve other people
Right.
and how we impact people's lives through flight. The people that have the most fun on the field are the people that contribute the most to growing the hobby, not the people that have the most expensive toys, the people that have the most fancy toys, the people that are the best pilots. If you don't turn around and serve, you're only serving yourself. And man, I don't want to ever compromise excellence. I want everyone to be amazing pilots and in competitive rings. But as I said before, with the FTCA, it's not going to be a competition-based community. It's going to be a community that
Servant-based.
serves, and
Mhm.
impacts and grows. So that's why I talk about programs and groups. And it's also why I talk about how the FTCA could easily go into a flying club that's an AMA flying club. We're not looking to steal anyone's identity or even try to take over clubs. We're looking to basically say, we're really good at teaching people how to fly. We're really good at getting people doing fun activities that promotes
The hobby.
community,
Yeah.
the hobby, things like that. That's the club's choice if they want those resources, and we're not going to hold that back.
Right.
And with you guys being FTCA members, that's what you're also making a reality, so we can build those resources and stuff, because it doesn't happen overnight. Flight Test has taken 11 years to get to 2 million subscribers. Early in the days, it took a week to have 4,000 views on one video. If we stopped there, we wouldn't have gotten to here. And I think the FTCA and what it stands for is going to be the solution that's going to be able to help people have those resources to grow the hobby, not just have to watch a YouTube video and use our resources. You guys will be able to contribute to, much like what you do with articles and forum posts.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I feel bad because I'm
Feel
definitely
bad about what?
well, I don't want to sound like I'm negative towards competitions and stuff.
Well, no, and I don't think you're. I think the fact of the matter is there's
don't
no
think so.
problem with having a competition. There's no problem with having a super nice airplane. There's
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely, yeah.
The main focus when it comes to all of that is honestly the attitude around it.
Yes.
Right. It's about whether you're in it for yourself or for others, whether it's an attitude of servanthood or whether it's selfish, right? Selfless versus selfish, right? And so what we're focusing on, obviously based on how we were raised, how we were grown up, how we've come into this hobby, what we do as a company, the main vision points
Yeah.
is that we want to be servant leaders within this hobby to help grow the hobby, to help people enjoy the hobby, and at the same time maybe change a little bit of that culture
Yeah.
in the process, right? So and I think that at the end of the day is what we're focused and aimed at, and I think it's great, and I
Oh,
think that's
beautifully
the
said.
plan that we've had from the get-go. So
Yeah, beautifully said, Stefan. Yeah, and it consumes us. I mean, it is, and that's where I got to be careful because I'm guilty of being the other end. If I'm talking down on the competition stuff, I don't. No, that's not my heart
Right,
at all.
no.
It's this is why we do what we do.
Right.
And I think it's also the reason why we've gotten to where we've gotten, because so many people have backed that vision. Um, I had a comment. If anyone doesn't know me, I do love balsa. I love building, although I don't have much time to do it. But all the planes I built with my dad as a young child, I'm trying to collect. I got a couple Buzzard bombshell kits. I got a Quaker at Flight Fest, original Quaker kit
Wow.
from that guy that was selling. But I love that history. And I'm the point I'm getting to is when I went up and I saw this plane, I just freaked out because here's a Quaker. I think it's the 84-inch Quaker in a kit. I opened up and the balsa was all there. It wasn't like a bag of scraps. And sometimes on eBay you get that.
Yeah, right.
You buy a kit thinking it's original and it's actually just a bunch of scraps and no plans. But I freaked out and the guy's like, "You know what a Quaker is?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know what a Quaker is." And we started talking old models. He's like, "I wouldn't have thought you would have known this, being where we are." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, you guys just build planes and crash and destroy them." And he was really put off by the combats and stuff. I had to explain to him, like, no, this is the growing process. But it was funny how people thought that because we build foam planes and we crash them and we laugh and we high five, that we don't have an immense respect and love and honor for the history of it. It's quite the opposite. We want to get people back in the building, back into designing, back into contributing, and we can't use balsa wood. We can't use things that take weeks and weeks and weeks to build. That doesn't mean it's not special.
And where does it go from the foam board? Where does it go from the foam board and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
You're going to go that next level is the giant gas powered airplanes with balsa wood and carbon fiber and that kind of stuff.
I describe Flight Test as like a tree and kind of wear the trunk. And then when people grow in that passion of building and stuff, they're going to have a fascination. They'll go one direction or the other. Yeah. Right. And balsa wood. And that's why you see us playing with EPS and EPP and hot wire foam cutters. We're not just in our one lane. We really want to say, okay, we're really good at this. Let's go ahead and learn about this and show you guys our mistakes and our wins, and then teach you what we know and then admit to what we don't know.
Right.
And it's been a really refreshing thing. But the reason I brought that story was the gentleman, when I bought that Quaker, and I paid way too much money for it. When I bought that Quaker, he was like, "I just can't believe you know this airplane."
Yeah.
And it was a really fun.
I'm sure it was a fun interaction.
It was.
And good for the soul.
It was. I can't wait. I got a couple old timers I want to turn back on the foam board to kind of throw that olive branch out to the community that maybe they want to still fly, but they don't want to have to build that plane, or they don't want to mess with nitro. They can do that with electric. And
so here's a question for you then, JBX. If there was one of those, balsa wood airplanes that's on like one or two that are on the top of your list that you still don't have.
Yeah.
What would a couple of those be if you have them on hand? If not, then that's cool. I don't want to put you on the spot, but you never know. Maybe there's people here that are listening that maybe they have one.
If anyone gets some good roots, I'm searching for a Leprechaun. I love the Leprechaun glider. It's an old timer sailplane that is just so beautiful. And then I'm searching for, let's see. I got my Quaker, got the Buzzard bombshell. If anyone knows, there's a plane called the Powerhouse. That was a really good one. And then there's also one that's iconic that I'm definitely gonna rebuild. And I built for my dad. It was an 8-foot Spook, and that was a
Spook.
Yeah, and it is a iconic. It was white and it had black scallops going down the nose. And then we built the long nose version because back then the motors were real heavy.
Okay.
So they're really stubby nose. That's kind of iconic. I built the long nose version so it could have a 2-cycle on it. But it was an 8-foot wingspan and gull wings and a really high swept forward landing gear. This plane just flew so beautifully.
That's cool.
And so
those are the models. Everybody.
Those are the models. Yeah.
If you guys got any,
dude, don't think you gotta send me anything. But if you guys have any connections and see anything on eBay or something, let me know. But cool. I would love even getting the plans for them because unfortunately, after my dad passed, I cannot find any of those plans anymore that we used to have. But I'd like to recreate it. I'm a little nostalgic. We're coming up on 10 years since my dad's passed.
Wow.
I think it'll be in May, right around Wings Over Edgewater, actually.
Really?
Will be the 10-year. But as my kids are growing older and I'm seeing Noah getting married and all these different life chapters, I'm getting kind of sentimental. And so it's like, I think I want to build some of these old birds and kind of bring them back.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not that it's some kind of magical thing that you must do, but it's just, I remember those memories like so vividly. And that's what really shaped my life and got me to this point.
That's awesome.
Hey, question about building. Dude's building an F-16. And Wes, if you're listening to this, make sure you update this on the store. but there are no recommended servos.
Okay.
So what it has recommended the battery, and but what's the what recommended servos?
You can fly 19 gram. I'm sorry, you can fly 9 gram. You know,
Nine.
there's classic servos. That's what we have in all of ours is 9 gram. If you really are going to be doing something nuts, put the 17 gram in. Just cut the holes a little bit bigger and put the 17 gram. The FT17Gs are really cost effective, and they're stupid strong. I mean, really, really strong. The elevator could use the 17 grams more than the ailerons are fine.
Okay.
But pitch control is always an important thing. Pitch is usually what keeps you from hitting the ground.
Pitch is a big deal.
But no, 9 grams work. And then one thing we do with John's designs, his holes are a little bit bigger, and that's for the linkage stoppers. But when the wire passes through, we just put a little drop of glue, and you've probably seen him do this in the build videos, where the hot glue is like the bushing, and that's a really good thing on the F-16, especially with it going fast. Is give it that that tolerance and close it down, or use linkage stoppers.
Right. Yep. There you go.
Now you know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, I love that feedback with making sure we recommend the right stuff.
Yeah. Recommending, just a quick point on that. It's super nice, you know, because I didn't come from the hobby, right? I jumped into the hobby when I started working here. And I would still consider myself noobish in terms of like all of the finer details in that regard. So like, you know, when I go on our store and I look at all the things that we kind of have there available, it's super encouraging to see because it's so much easier than it always has ever been. So like, hey, I'm going to buy this plane. I was like, oh, here's the recommended power pack. Here's the recommended servos. Here's the recommended battery. And it's just like boop, 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 boop. And then you buy it and you're done.
It's
so
good.
it's super simple now, which is
Yeah.
phenomenal. Well, it hasn't always been that way. And it's been a lot of hard work behind the scenes from Robert and the rest of the team. But yeah, it's super, super cool to see that now.
Hey, I got another question, and forgive me for this one, Mr. XJet. Who is it? I mean, see, and the reason I'm asking is like everybody. It seems like everybody knows who XJet is. Bruce. Okay, you say it like, oh yeah, I know Bruce.
He's got a YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel.
Awesome.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I apologize, Bruce, for not knowing.
Yeah, and forgive me, Bruce. My mind's not really sharp here. Is it? What country is he from?
I think he's from. He's either New Zealand or Australia.
I think it's
right?
New Zealand. I think it's New Zealand.
New Zealand. Bruce Simpson from New Zealand.
Yeah, from New Zealand. Thank you. And
cool. Well,
yeah.
nice to meet you, Bruce
So-
Simpson. I'm Lee Kackner from United States.
there you go.
There's his YouTube channel.
There it is.
Right there.
Yeah.
Turbine
good old
crash.
Bruce. So he's got he's got a whole bunch of fun different steps. So.
Great content
Oh,
creator,
cool.
advocate
What-
for the hobby, promotes
Has
obviously.
he? Hey, Bruce, have you built a Flurkin yet?
We should send a Flurkin to Bruce.
Do you want to build a Flurkin?
Do you want to fly it all around?
We can make a song like that.
Oh, totally. We won't rehearse that in front of you guys and save you that.
All right, Bruce. It says Bruce is a legend. All right, cool.
Yes. He has a really great accent too.
Haven't built one. Hey, Bruce, do me a
Do you
favor.
want a Flurkin, Bruce?
Do you want to?
Can we ship one to New Zealand?
Well, I don't know. I mean, but here's the deal. I'm not going to ship him one if he doesn't want one.
That's true.
Yeah, but I was just wondering if they
Would you
international one.
want a Flurkin there, Bruce? And would you build it and write a review on it? Nice. I'll build one. All right, cool.
Cool.
Awesome. All right. Well, so
We got a care package, Bruce.
yeah. Hey, Bruce, email me, Lee at Flight Test, and we'll get everything set up. We'll talk some other things
Yeah.
too. We can. Yeah, we should get Bruce on the podcast. That would be
That'd
an
be a lot of
awesome
fun.
thing too.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Look at all this stuff happening
You'll,
right
you'll
now
witness
on the
his amazing
podcast.
accent too, which is always fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I look forward to,
Yeah.
to meeting Bruce. I am the guy that doesn't belong. So that is totally
That
cool.
has stuck with you so long.
No, I'm
We-
no, it's
we-
not like a thorn. It's like I'm embracing it.
You embracing
listen,
it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get. I
love it.
great because you wear black all the time. I'm gonna literally get you a shirt that just has a black sheep or surrounded by a bunch of white sheep, and that's gonna be. Boop.
Hi, I'm Lee.
Hi, I'm Lee. I'm the black sheep of the group.
Yeah, and that'll go over well. We'll get some kind of hate mail for that.
Oddball? Can I do an oddball?
You-
Like a bunch of
you
balls
can-
and then an oddball?
I don't care. I mean, you do whatever you want. It won't bother me.
Love it, dude.
Oh my goodness.
Hashtag winning.
Yeah, no, and I'm excited. We've been sitting out. We've got a really amazing group of beta builders, like the F-16. The first two kits of the F-16 went to two remarkable young men, Josh
yeah.
and Jesse New, and their dad said they didn't sleep when they got those to beta test and fly, and we're gonna be doing that a lot more, which is really exciting.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Well, I mean, and one of the things we've talked about with our like with the Tudor and with the we're doing good on time.
Yeah, I was just checking.
Couple more minutes with the Tudor and with the Flurkin. We haven't really really pushed that. We haven't really marketed them outside of our own little circle. So
well, let's be honest with it. We haven't really done that with any of our planes.
Never.
That
but we should, because
We release
the
a video, then
world
we
is
move on to the next
yeah,
one.
we but
the
when
world
that
is
and it,
missing.
I think that the style of our business has kind of just made that be part of the reality.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, oh, we did it. That was awesome. Oh, I love that plane. Let's
Next
sell it.
thing.
All right. Next. So what are we doing next, JBX? Oh, well, we're gonna do this one. Or we're gonna build a giant 16-foot like Meglis. You know what I mean? So that's just how it works.
That turns into a
goodness
20-foot
gracious.
B-17.
Right.
I think by summer I'm gonna be flying in something.
Oh, hey, somebody says
That might be true.
we should fly Bruce in for Flight Fest. Maybe we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see if
Sorry, fast.
we'll see how well him and I get along on our phone call.
There it is.
No, it
That's
is
funny.
cool. They said, is Bruce even allowed to fly into the U.S. with all the FAA and AMA rants? Then Bruce himself said Lee could start his own team.
Oh.
And then he said team, no, question mark. I don't know.
No,
Black Sheep team.
They'll have to do the podcast in Canada.
That's sweet.
Yeah,
we'll,
that's funny.
we'll find a way to get you in.
Oh yeah, that's
Wonder
awesome.
how small of a box can we put them in?
Oh, do you see? You can't talk about that.
I know. I'm
Putting-
sorry.
putting
we're
people
not
into
putting
a
people
box.
in. No, we're
Listen,
not going to do that.
Don't push baby in a corner.
Don't.
No one puts Bruce in a corner.
No,
Um,
no.
No, yeah, and it's kind of some of the saddest moments I have is when we build a plane for an episode. Like, oh, we got to build a sea duck. And I fly sea duck. I was like, oh, I love the sea duck. I want a sea duck.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, a Sportster. I want a Sportster.
It's always the moment where Josh puts it up in the air. This is my favorite plane ever.
I will say this
They're
though.
all my favorite.
They're all-
that the one that trumps them all.
Mhm.
I'm gonna you can tell me I'm wrong here.
The Tudor.
No, I think the Sportster trumps every single plane that Josh has built, and I think that one is in his mind, is ingrained.
But here's the problem with
Scouts
that.
and Sportsters. Oh yeah,
look
sea ducks.
but look at the the stats.
Oh, I'm not
I
talking
like
about
the
this. I'm
Aerostar.
talking about if Josh had to choose an airplane right now, I think he would choose Sportster.
I remember when this
From all
Sportster,
from
the-
the whole
that
the whole
came-
umbrella that goes with that, from his
yeah.
dad to here to now. Where's this? We got a giant
I,
thing somewhere around here or back at
yeah.
his house. I think. Am I right or am I
I
wrong?
miss my Sportster now.
Like I
Oh
said,
my
because I think
goodness gracious.
isn't that the
Maybe
kind you
we
want
should
to
build.
fly?
Maybe we should build a really big. You know what I'm gonna do, guys? Here's what we're gonna do.
You're fired.
Here's what we do after the
Derailed.
B-17, because bucket list. In all seriousness,
Yeah.
you saw what was in the container.
Yes,
I was working up, and this is why Steph, I think, has mentioned the Sportster. My
100%.
goal is to eventually turn the Sportster into a 107. I'm sorry, 103
an
ultralight,
airplane.
a real airplane, a single seat airplane.
Yes,
So remember the big balsa one I designed?
Uh-huh.
That was my stepping stone to
yes.
how does it do bigger, the effects and stuff. Ultimately, get my butt in a single seat Sportster, because the way the landing gear is, it's super stable, super just. It looks like a GB, but at the same time, it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's ultralightish.
12 years of flight
Yeah.
test. It had all led up to this moment.
So maybe what I'm thinking is after the B-17, we start the
million.
project on the single seat.
yes.
No, well, I don't know. We're not working out 3 million.
No, but that'll give us plenty of time to do other stuff.
I think okay, guys. I can't see the comments.
No.
I think after the B-17, we need to begin the journey of the first real plane design, because before I stop sucking air, I want to design at least one full-scale
Yes.
airplane that people can fly in, and obviously we got to make that happen. So maybe we start that after the 20-foot B-17.
And you have Dave. You have the
We
David.
got the David.
You have a Dave. You have the David.
David
Yeah.
just said, "Looks like Josh and I have a big project coming." No, so Widzy said, "Full size Sportster, do it. Maybe get Peter Schriepel involved."
Oh yeah, I love Peter. man.
Peter. Yeah, that
Yeah.
guy.
Well, and so much of what Peter demonstrated with the ultralights he's built
Mhm.
just shows like it's not beyond your reach. What you do got to
Mhm.
do though is remember that you are flying in it and you can die.
Yes.
You know, failures
Well,
are fun when it comes to models, but not when it comes to
Yeah.
GA.
See, and that's the thing, man. Like,
you guys be
He's-
fine with
He's
me. I'm
worried
going to
about his
heaven.
job.
Nah, I'm
He's
not-
worried
I'm
about.
not-
He doesn't want to get. He doesn't want to like just not be part of flight test
I
anymore
don't-
because you're gone.
Oh, no, I just don't want to be left with him alone,
Well,
man. I mean,
and that's part of it.
that's right.
Listen,
Sorry, guys. You got to figure it out.
Dang it.
My kids are almost grown.
Yeah.
No, okay. But no,
Yeah.
seriously, I think that'd be a fun thing to dream about because that has been,
yes.
you totally knew where you're going with that.
Listen, I know exactly what I was
This juice
doing,
is flowing. It's happened here, friends.
Oh,
Mark
yeah.
but
your
we
calendars.
will digress.
We will
okay?
digress.
We'll
yes.
digress. Obviously, I think
Mm.
I'm not sure what the time is currently. What is
Well,
it,
the time
54
is
minutes?
54 minutes, so we do
this
have
is,
to start
this is about
wrapping
this is
it up.
about the wrap up time. So
How many of you guys
we'll
want
come
to see
back
single speed sports? Just let me know.
in the comments. Send an email. But yeah, other than that, that's all good. So thanks for the time, Josh Bixler. I'm glad that my you're affirming what I believe.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, Lee,
Mm.
I'd really appreciate it if you didn't bring in any of your extracurricular activities to harm me later or anything like that. So
No,
appreciate
I've
that.
told you, bro. I've told you. You are the safest that you've ever been.
That's
Ever
right.
been.
Golly.
that's right.
So-
I just got to imagine what people listening to this podcast think.
Oh,
It's all sorts of
bag
fun.
of cats.
Yeah. It's like, here's the bag. Let's empty it.
Right.
You know what we didn't talk about today? I can't do the straight
Dude,
face.
come on
We
now.
didn't talk about the FAA stuff. We didn't talk about. I can't.
Those
say it.
dang. Okay, so between Christmas and New Year's, be looking for all the FAA regulations to drop.
You know,
all
watch
right?
it not happen. This
Yeah,
year.
right.
I know, right?
Watch it not happen. We're
That's
telling
right.
everyone to watch for it,
That's
and,
right.
and it won't happen.
But here's the thing: if it doesn't happen, it's not
You're welcome.
necessarily a surprise. Yeah, right. Oh, and on that note,
All right, so
No.
Stefan, yeah, we do need to end.
Yes.
Final words of wisdom.
words of wisdom. I do have two today. I do have
You
two
had two
today.
last
I had two last
time.
time. I have two today. One is a little bit more practical. The other one is just a kind of a crazy happening.
Mm.
First things first. Do not build a single seat Sportster
Until I get there.
until Josh
Oh
does,
my
because he'll be so
goodness.
sad. He'll be so sad.
It'll break my
He'll
heart.
break his heart. And the second one, please, it's kind of reiteration of last week. Please make sure that you make this holiday season the best it can possibly be, no matter
Yeah.
what you got going on. Whether that's gifting, whether that's hanging out with friends and family, whether that's dinner with friends and family, just make it the best that it possibly can be, and make sure that you focus on the reason for the season, and that is our wonderful Savior Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Yeah.
So enjoy it, please. Do not miss the opportunity to tell some people that you love them.
Yeah,
And
and
it's a big deal.
so I want to make sure we say this. Next week we're off on Thursday, Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so it looks like we'll be doing podcast on Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, so we're going to be planning on Wednesday next week doing the podcast just for the handful of people that are
Love
still listening.
Sweet.
So, all
We'll
right,
see you guys then, guys.
Yeah. Love y'all.
Love
take
ya.
care.